always been, I think, that natural antagonism in the setting of the high school. And as we all know, one of the great cultural and gender divides, as depicted in the cinematic classic Kindergarten Cop, because as we all know, boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
And our mom says our dad's a real sex machine.
That's right. All right. So with that being said, let's get into our first movie, The Principal. And before I even begin to talk about this, it stars Jim Belushi. I like the idea that somebody thought Jim Belushi was going to be a movie star someday. Not a supporting actor, not, maybe I mean, he led a sitcom. I know he led a sitcom because the place I used to work ran whatever, wherever that was in syndication, that was on constantly in the break room. I think it was him and maybe Marky Post or no.
No, it was Courtney Thorne Smith.
Right. What was she actually famous for?
She more Melrose Place probably than anything.
That's where I knew her from, Melrose Place. Okay. So yeah, there was a sitcom with Jim Belushi and her, and it was very much the father's a pig, the wife's an egg. Isn't this funny, America? Ha ha ha! And I don't know how many seasons this ran, but
I think 7.
Oh God, what is it? Jim Knows Best or some shit?
According to Jim.
According to Jim, yeah. Boy. Anyway, somebody out there, casting directors or an agent, really thought Jim Belushi was going to be a starring actor. Pat, I mean, were these people on drugs?
I mean, listen, he got multiple chances at being the lead in feature films. He had The Principal, which was good enough to allow him Mr. Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 2-year span where everybody was trying to make a cop and canine movie, he actually got the movie titled K9.
Right.
At the same time when we were getting classics like Turner and Hooch
Mm-hmm.
and Top Dog with Chuck Norris. And yeah, all those movies got released right around the same time. So
Gosh,
yeah, Jim, we thought Jim could carry that genre.
It's so funny what the visage of sex symbol leading man looks like over the years. And somebody looked at Jim Belushi, who could pass as any one of my suburban dads in the neighborhood, the mean streets of Massapequa, Long Island, and thought, that guy, George Clooney, Richard Gere, all the same leading men. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is 1987. We're juggling different kind of leads. We have, our over the top, muscular, cool action heroes like Arnold and Stallone. We're developing, our comedic wonders into leads in funny rom-coms and stuff like Ted Danson and Steve Guttenberg and the like. And
I threw out there like Tom Hanks. I think that's it. I think somebody saw Tom Hanks as a bankable movie star, and he was. Almost everything Tom Hanks is in is a giant hit, and thought, okay, we need, not only do we need hot hunky men, but we need everyday looking men.
I was gonna say Jim is now one of the everyman category.
Right. So the everyman category gets his leading role here in The Principal, which is a 1987 action thriller that also stars Louis Gossett Jr. of what was the airplane movie that we reviewed with him?
Iron Eagle, yeah.
Iron Eagle fame. Sorry, words are hard this late at night. And the ever lovely B-movie actress. If you saw a movie with no budget in the 1980s and early 90s, Rae Dawn Chong was in them. There's your girl. She was in all those movies.
Quest for Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Written by Frank Deason, directed by Christopher Kane. It was filmed in Oakland, California at the Northgate High School in nearby Walnut Creek and distributed by TriStar Pictures on Panavision. He then, oddly enough, he also got to reprise his role as Rick Latimer in the 1991 film Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe. Fantastic.
Starring Jesse the Body Ventura.
Outstanding. This made on a budget of $11 million. It made 19.7, which, depending on how you define successful, according to the wiki, it was moderately commercially successful, and it's got a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Cinema score is a B. And in 2014, the movie was one of several discussed by Kelly Goff of the Daily Beast in an article concerning white savior narratives, which is a constant theme of our podcast.